All right, so I got smart and actually grabbed my air compressor and turned on my air compressor and started using my my air gun to blow out any of the dust that I didn't need, because I was scraping it off with a little wire brush. But I decided, you know what, I don't need that much, so it was going pretty well. And blowing out this makes it so much easier when you're sanding to use the air compressor. If you have one, there's really no easier way to do it. Going in there with a razor blade and cutting everything out is really annoying, so I just figured this was the easier way to do it. Save time. The way I can see what I'm doing, make sure everything's cut properly. Now I'm just gluing the radius block on. And even though I know you don't have to do it at this point, I just figured I'd get any of the chips that might be there or anything sticking up. I wanted to make sure that it was leveled, well, radiused. So I just give it a few passes with the radius block to make sure it's good before doing any filling. This was honestly a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. This having to sand this by hand it's a good workout, man, for your shoulders, your back, just making sure the super glue is holding it on. Now, in retrospect, it would have been easier to put tape on there and glue it to the tape and then take the tape and the sandpaper off so you could easily change it. But again, I wasn't really planning on doing this again with this specific block, so I wasn't that concerned about it. And I'm just checking the radius, the little gauge I made by sanding it. I had sanded it back, doing the same thing at the end of the last video that I did with the radius block itself. At this point, I was pretty happy with that it looked. I thought, this you can kind of see where it's coming together. It's one thing to draw it on there, it's a whole other to cut it, so I was pretty happy with where it was going at this point. I did, however, when I was using my blade, I did skip a couple of times. It's much easier to do with the tape in place, but I was able to get any nicks and stuff that I had done by accident with the blade. Go slow, be careful, I was more concerned with cutting my hand than I was with cutting the board, but if you gouge it too deep, then it's going to show up as a problem spot. Thankfully, most of the mistakes I could get out, and any of the ones I couldn't were really close to the fret, so you wouldn't see it anyway. So now I'm linseed oiling really quickly, just a light linseed cover, wiping down some of the excess. I just wanted to have it, I'm really trying to get the linseed down inside the inlay channels and the routed little inlay areas to make sure that it isn't just connected to the raw wood, because what'll happen is, from what I was told, I hadn't actually seen this happen because I hadn't really messed with epoxy and wood, but apparently epoxy can bleed into the wood. Not only can it discolor it, but it also takes some of the epoxy away from you, so to speak, when you go to fill it. So one of the options is to take epoxy and brush it on the inside, or in my case I just took a little tiny bit of linseed, let it cure up, and it gave it something to keep it from bleeding through, and it's still hard as rock and it doesn't shift. So this worked for me, but do it as you wish. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching.